Hey guys, what's up? Tamara here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Sharp Objects by GIllian Flynn. This is an adult thriller / suspense novel. I would actually categorize this more as a psychological suspense. First off, let's start with the plot. The plot is typical Flynn fashion. You know, it's twisted, it's dark, it's where the pace is decent. You get a lot of details about the town itself, the community. Like, you get a real good distinctive vibe about how this town operates, how they think as a community that certain things that are okay, they ignore others, they gossip about others, they talk. It's just a hot mess. No one wants to live in this town, and it's very clear why our protagonist Camille left. Speaking of characters, Camille is our protagonist, as I just said, and she is a cutter. And by that, you know, when she is anxious or she has problems or she doesn't know how to deal, she cuts herself. But instead of just cutting, she cuts words into herself. All over her body she has words cut, and she is a very damaged person. She left her home 10 years ago and has now returned as a 26-year-old and a reporter to investigate a murder that has been committed there and a recent disappearance of a girl that has occurred there. She feels, or her boss feels, that there is a connection there, and she is sent as a local, I guess, to dig up the story and see what's what. While she's there, some of her old tendencies sort of surface, and she finds herself writing on her skin, I guess, to kind of cope with the anxiety of being home and all these other things. Then we meet her mother, her half-sister, her stepfather, and they're a crazy bunch, literally. As the story goes on and we learn more about Emma, her stepsister, it really starts to show the level of insanity that was going on in her family. Her mother, nutcase. Her sister, nutcase. It's just all bad. Top that off with crazy community members, her mother's friends, Camille's old friends, Emma's friends, the family of the deceased girls. It's just, they're all nuts. I mean, there's not one normal person in this whole story, and I find that kind of odd, honestly. But you know, I guess typical. Now, as far as the pacing is concerned, it took me a little while to get into this. Longer than I think. For a book so short, you'd think it would have been a quick read, but it honestly took me almost 2 weeks to read this book because I just pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. It just didn't grab me like I wanted it to. As far as the good parts, yes, as Flynn always does, she manages to surprise me with the killer. One minute I think it's one person, then I think it's another, then I think it's one person, then I think it's another, and I flip back and forth this whole book, and then when I got to the end, it was the person who I originally thought. But I didn't see it because I had totally discarded them at that point. So I like that. I like that I didn't know, sort of. I did know, but I didn't know I knew who the killer was, if that makes any sense. And I like that about her books. I gotta say, you guys, this was okay. It was good, you know. It wasn't as good as Gone Girl. I think because Gone Girl was the first book I read by Flynn, I have since compared every book, both Dark Places and Sharp Objects, to the level of Gone Girl. While these books are both pretty decent, they're not as good as Gone Girl in my personal opinion. I kept looking and hoping that I would get another book by her that I just loved, and unfortunately I haven't. While this book was still pretty good, I just didn't find it very deep. The characters weren't that deep, you know what I mean? There wasn't a whole lot. This was a book club book, and there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. My in-person book club read this as well as the online book club, and you know, we talked about it for a little while, and we all kind of had the same consensus that it was good, but it wasn't that good. Everyone was just crazy. The whole story, and I know I keep saying that, but honestly, that's all I can think to say about it. Nothing else was that gripping about it. I will remember it because of the level of crazy, I'll tell you that. So with that said, I rated Sharp Objects 3 out of 5 bookmarks. And you know, it's good enough. It wasn't horrible by any means. I would definitely recommend it if you like crazy, dark, you know, psychological thrillers where you can't really figure out who's doing what because everyone's so screwed up. If you enjoy those type of things, if you liked dark places, you will like this, I think. But if you didn't enjoy dark places that much, I would assume you won't enjoy this that much. And it is a short read. It's only 254 pages. If your book club is looking for something that's a short read, this would be a good option. That's all I have to say on this one. So did you guys read Sharp Objects? If you did, let me know if you enjoyed it or if you didn't, if you kind of were middle of the road like me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye guys.